Hi everyone. Okay, so this is That's the Way by Led Zeppelin from their third album, first recorded in 1970. And the purpose of this video is to show you how to play this song on two guitars, or as in my case, on one guitar using a looper. In this video I'm going to focus only on the mandolin solo, which I arranged for the guitar. This tutorial is based on Led Zeppelin's live recording from 1975, and the link to it is included in the description part of this video. I'm not going to get into detail how to play the backing track, which is played on the guitar by Jimmy Page. There are quite a lot of useful tutorials on that on YouTube already. But before we start to learn the solo, let's talk about the tuning a bit. The strings sound like this: D, G, D, G, B, and D. So first let's see how to lay down the backing track for the solo. It's very simple and easy to see how suitable this song is to play with a looper on your own. Basically the guitar plays one theme, one line, and it's repeated over the intro and the verse as well. You may record and play back the first line, but in general I recommend that you record the second or third line instead. The reason is that you may start the song slightly slower or faster, and you need to adjust the tempo a bit during the first couple of bars. And also, before you start playing, none of the strings are resonating, obviously, so it is quite natural that it's rather difficult or quite impossible to get a steady, continuous repeat, especially if you happen to hit the record button a bit earlier than you start playing the guitar. And it's also good practice to record multiple lines, not only one, even if they repetitive, for the same reason. Okay, so let's look at the line. The first chord is G major, so playing all open strings. You're not playing the E6, which is tuned down to G, to D, sorry. Then you put your second finger in the second fret of the fourth string, and your first finger in the first fret of the second string. And then you slide up one whole tone. So it goes like this. And the last shape is that you leave your second finger as it is, where it is, and release your first finger and put down your third finger in the fourth fret of the first string. It's quite an unusual chord, I should say. So it goes like this. And finally you move back to the G major and finish on the second shape. So your second finger is in the second fret of the fourth string, and the first finger is in the first fret of the second string. So and so on. So let's move on to the solo now. The solo is played in the 7th fret position, basically, except for the very first and very last couple of notes. Rhythm-wise, although it is very simple, simple 8 notes with the exception of 2 occasions only. But still, you may find it difficult to keep the tempo and stay in sync with the backing track. So let's see how it goes. We start with an open D and play a couple of hammer-offs. Put your first finger in the 5th fret on the 1st string, and it goes like this. So start with an open D. And again. Right. The second bit, place your 3rd finger over the 9th fret of the 1st string. And this pattern is very similar to the first one, except that you release the hammer off, on the 7th fret. So it goes like this. And then the 2 bits together. Okay. The third part, you have your first finger in the 7th fret on the 1st string, your second finger in the 8th fret on the 2nd string, and finally your 3rd finger in the 9th fret on the 3rd string. So again. And the third part. The first finger is in the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and the 3rd finger is in the 9th fret of the 4th string. So here you slide your 3rd finger down on the 4th string from the 9th to the 7th fret. Your first finger is in the 5th fret on the same string. Then you slide back up from the 7th to the 9th fret. So the third and the fourth part together. From the top. Okay, so let's move on to the next bit. We play arpeggios here, starting with a V slide. So put your 3rd finger in the 8th fret on the 4th string and slide up a semitone. The arpeggio shape would be like your 3rd finger is in the 9th fret on the 4th string, your 1st string in the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and the 2nd finger 8th position on the 2nd string. So, and then you just repeat it without sliding up. So again. Let's move on. Put your pinky in the 10th fret on the 4th string It's followed by a hammer off. So it's your third finger in the 8th fret and hammer off to the 7th fret where your first finger is. Now it's followed by a hammer on the 4th string. Place your second finger in the 8th fret and hammer on with your third finger in the 9th fret. It's your first finger in the 7th fret on the 3rd string now. So now we have 2 hammer offs on the 4th string. So put your third finger in the 7th fret and hammer off to the 5th fret where your first finger is. Then hammer off to the open string, and then you play an open G on the 3rd string. So again. Together with the arpeggios. And finally the last bit, which I found the most tricky and hard to remember. So put your third finger in the 9th fret on the 1st string and the second finger in the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So again. It's your first finger in the 7th fret on the 1st string. Then you play the same notes but start on the 2nd string. Again. And the very last bit, move down to the 2nd fret position so that your third finger is in the 4th fret on the 1st string, and just rest your first finger in the 2nd fret and play 2 hammer offs. So now these 2 parts together. Let's play the whole solo slow.